today. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Italy Jet post game show. I'm your host, Italy Jet. I got my everything in my J co-host tonight, Liam Johnson, and then
What's
the
going on?
Jet Show. The Jet Show. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys feeling?
Great, man. Great. Could be better, but great.
You know what I'm saying? An ugly win is better than an ugly loss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
true. That's true.
Absolutely.
So,
Yep.
guys, you know, as we know, ugly game,
Mm-hmm.
ugly game. Injuries. We'll get into the injuries. We'll get
Mm-hmm.
into what to expect with the Patriots. We'll talk about everything. But first off, I want to talk about the offense. Let's talk about the offense, right? Offense
Okay.
was a little bit shaky. It was shaky at a little bit of good times, but we came back in the fourth quarter a little bit. Liam, I'll start with you. What did you think about the offense performance tonight
In total,
in total?
I mean, listen, Zach got a lot of flack for this, but I mean, he wasn't great. Like, I don't think this is the best we've seen Zach, but he had no protection whatsoever. I mean, you can't. How are you gonna ask a quarterback to perform at a high level when he has 2 seconds to get the ball out of his hands? Otherwise, he's getting chased for his life. The offensive line, they need to be a lot better. Zach overall, they went, he went 16 for 26, 121 yards,
Mm-hmm.
no touchdowns, no interceptions. So, I mean, it's not great, but like, I don't think he was the one costing us the game. I don't think he was a liability out there. That one, um, that one sack that he had where he kind of pushed the ball away, that pissed me off a lot because I thought that was a fumble at first, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
he didn't look comfortable out there whatsoever. You know, like even he was running for his life and just chucking the ball away. So, I mean, Zach overall, he's got to be better, but at the same time, the offensive line has to be better. Um, Brees Hall, unfortunate injury. You know, he had 4 carries for 72 yards and one touchdown. Like the numbers jump off the page. Like his numbers are legit. Losing him most likely for the year, that's gonna be a major blow because let's face it, Michael Carter and Brees Hall are not the same player.
Nope.
That's not a knock on Michael Carter. I like Michael Carter, but he's no Brees Hall. Ty Johnson is no Brees Hall, but Braxton Berrios, they found ways to move the ball with the running game. Braxton Berrios did his thing. Garrett Wilson, I was happy to see him get a little bit more involved. I think that this is the game that that Elijah Moore would have had some touches too. I really think so.
Amen to that.
Best to keep your mouth closed.
Yep.
Or your fingers
Kidding.
off Twitter.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, show. What do you think?
I agree, man. I agree 100%. Zach needed a lot more protection in this game. Um, I was losing my mind when he did the scramble, then spin, then tried to run and got tripped and tried to throw the ball away. I was like, this could really be a fumble. And I'm like literally standing up with my hands on my head, like waiting on the call, the reverse call or whatnot. But yeah, I I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. Like I always say, man, I don't know about Zach, man. I just don't.
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't have a lot of protection, and I agree. Like you say, he literally had anywhere from 1.8 to 2.3 seconds to throw the ball, and for a young quarterback, man, that's you're asking a lot of him for this to constantly happen, right after each other. But sometimes it's just the decision making too. Like the one pass he threw to Uzama. Zach should know by now. Like
Yeah.
stop trying to take so many steps. Set your feet, then throw the pass. Like he's always throwing off his back foot, and that led to an overthrown pass over a big tight end. What is Uzama, like 6'5", 6'6", maybe?
Yeah,
You know,
he's
he's a
around that
big
range.
yeah,
He's a
he's a
big
big
boy.
guy. He's a big
Big
guy.
boy.
So to overthrow him is saying a lot about Zach's situation, far as him not grasping what they're training him to do or what they're teaching him to do, in practice. So I think Zach still has those happy feet, man. He looked like last year when I saw him today. Being honest, I saw the same Zach last year today in today's game. And being honest, I've never seen that Zach this season until this game. And part of it is due because of the protection. Um, if I had to say, far as anybody else on the offense, of course the offensive line was horrible. I think some of the penalties that they called on Brown were like you could have let those pass, man. At that point, I felt like it was a little home cooking. They was trying to give Denver a little edge. Brown, I think, has Brown even had a penalty since he's been back? and he accumulated like what
I don't remember.
3 or 4 in one game, and he's a Pro Bowler type left tackle. Come on, you know what I
Right.
mean? So it was
Yeah.
things like that I didn't like about the offense. And let's see if I had to say anything else. I'm very pleased with Barrios. Barrios had that one big drop though that he really could have caught, but I'm not mad at him because Barrios is not known for dropping passes. So, I guess he's entitled to one, every 16 games. You know what I mean? Michael Carter is not Brees Hall. We all know that, but I am a fan
Yeah.
of Michael Carter. He's a hard runner. He's very shifty. He's not the guy that's really patient like Brees Hall is. Like Brees literally waits for something to open and then he attacks. So I do like Michael Carter, but I have question marks now going into our next game. And just so happened it's against the Patriots, right? Our next game is against the
Yeah.
Patriots, right? And I'm like, dude, like out of all the teams for us to have a lot of injuries coming into, it's like, oh, like I would take this over anybody else but the Patriots. I literally want to stump their heads in the ground, man. But we just need some wide receivers to step up, man. Especially I think Corey Davis is okay to come back in, so that's a plus heading into our
Uh-oh.
It's okay. This happens. Be on standby. What did you say, Show? You cut out. It's okay.
All right.
It's those kids. It's those kids.
Those
He's
damn
got a lot of
kids.
kids. Yeah, good. They're on his Wi-Fi. Um.
Happens.
So the show. Did you? We didn't hear anything you said.
I was just
You
saying,
cut out.
I love the defense, but as far as offense, I'm not impressed with them. And they were my
Gotcha. Okay.
I think
Check
they're gonna.
on.
I think you were saying those were my concern.
Right. Right.
Which is
Okay.
fair.
So move. So moving on. I think going with the offense, right? Zach Wilson. Let's just go around the horn on all the offense. We'll start with Zach. Does Zach take a step back, or do you guys think that he had O line issues? There was injuries around him, Hall, Davis, AVT. Or do you think this is something that he could bounce back next week with, depending on those injuries? Liam, we'll start with you.
I think he can bounce back. I mean, I feel like I tend to be a lot more positive about Zach than most people. Like, I mean, I'm seeing people in the chat here, and I'm seeing it all over Twitter. Zach sucks. He's not the guy. This and that. We don't know if he's the guy yet. I mean, like,
Right,
it's hard to tell if you have the guy with the circumstances from today. Like the offensive line, like they did not do him any favors, And then
right,
like, but like I said, like it's not his best game. It really wasn't, But like the one thing that really does piss me off about it is like the dude. There was times that he was running 30 yards back. Like
right,
I'm looking at like the line of scrimmage, and like you can't even see it on the screen. I'm like, why is he all the way back there? Like, are we gonna get a safety? Is that what's happening here? Like, it
right,
just felt like
right,
he was way out of pocket. But I get it though. Like, you're scrambling. He's trying to make something out of nothing. There's
Mhm.
nothing there. He's trying his best. Today was a game where he had to play hero football. You know,
right,
this was one of those examples of the quarterback lifting the team up. I mean, let's be honest. Would Joe Flacco have done any better? Would Mike White have done any better? And
no,
think of would somebody like like I don't think an Allen Mahomes. I don't think anybody under those circumstances would have shined today. And that might be a bit of a stretch, but with that offensive line, I mean, he did the best he could running. I mean, he really did. He was playing hard. He was trying his best. What else can you ask for? We saw a couple of times when Zach is able to set his feet, when he's able to plant his feet, give the play 4 or 5 seconds, he can make a play.
right,
Anytime that Zach set his feet today, he was able to complete a pass. It's just, when you have a freaking 400-pound a defensive lineman running full force at you, what are you gonna do?
yeah,
And then like the play breaks down, and then you see the offensive line kind of just standing there. It was very clear that Elijah Vera Tucker was missed today,
oh yeah,
and they tried to counter it a little bit with the two tight end sets and everything, but the two tight end sets, that takes away from the wide receiver position that we're already losing guys at as we speak. So Denzel Mims and we'll go position by position, like you said. But that's my take on Zach. I mean, to sum it up, I don't think he was as bad as people are making him out to be. Not great by any means, but I would like to see what he can do with a better offensive line.
Show. What do you think?
I agree, but it doesn't help my case towards Zach Wilson. I'm on the fence with Zach Wilson even before this game. So
Me
this
too.
definitely doesn't help my decision on saying that he's the franchise quarterback or he's the guy. Still more questions than we have answers when it comes to Zach Wilson. Um, a huge hit, on the offensive line today. Absolutely a huge hit. But I'm sorry, guys. Zach is not. He's not clicking for me. He's just not.
Hey, everyone's entitled to their own
Yeah,
opinion. I more agree with the show because I am also on defense when it comes to Zach. But I have seen he has been getting better. But today he just did not look like it. He didn't look like it at all. But
yeah. No,
for,
I'm not sold that he's the definite franchise quarterback. I'm not going to
yeah,
defend him to the cows come home. But at the same
right,
time, I'd like to see what he could do with more.
exactly, exactly.
You
We're gonna
know.
get to some comments here. So
Okay.
we'll get to everybody, guys. We appreciate you commenting. I hope Brees doesn't miss the whole season. I think you and me both, pal.
Yeah.
Um, here we go. What offense? Well. I mean, if you watch the same game we did, yeah. I mean, it was all about the kicking game today.
Yeah,
So
and
Your boy.
defense.
yeah, you know what? I was actually like, okay, Z did some good things for me today. So
Right,
slowly.
right.
Now, having to call
You're
you
gonna have
slow
to
line
text him,
leads.
and you're gonna have to text him and be like, "Hey, good game."
I ain't texting him. No way. No way. Shoot, you never know. He'll know my dad. He knows my dad. I've only met him a few times, so
Right.
we know more Greg Williams. He'll recognize
Okay.
me anywhere. Not having a close line is a type of exactly, because the old
Mm-hmm.
line wasn't consistent. When Cedric came in, he was off. That right line was
Yeah.
off. Lakin was
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Where the heck has Lakin been? We'll get into that,
Missing.
but that's just
Disappointment.
been. It's really has.
Herbig too. Herbig had a couple penalties.
Yeah,
Right.
he did.
And then trade Elijah Moore for Cam Akers. Okay, listen. Okay,
Cam
I don't want
Akers.
any Rams guys on our team. I'm just gonna say that now. I can't. But I understand he's a great player. I get that. But I don't think we should trade for someone. I don't know. I mean, I think we need a defensive tackle more, a little bit of a linebacker more. But I don't think we're in a need to rush for the running back position. What do you guys think?
Mm, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade for Cam Akers. I'm not trading for a running back, for like a 1 year. I mean, if we could get somebody better than Michael Carter for like a cheap deal, I mean, sure, if you have a chance to upgrade the position, if Brees is, God forbid, out the entire season, and that's what it's
Right.
looking like. Robert Sala even hinted at that, so it's more likely than not that that's going to be the case. But hey, I mean, we saw Zach. We thought Zach was going to be out the whole year, and he was 4 weeks. So you
True.
never know. But
I would.
yeah, no,
I would
I
like.
mean, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead, my man.
I was just gonna say, like, Michael Carter was our starter last year, and like he wasn't terrible. So I
Nope.
think Michael Carter is very
Right.
serviceable. Let's hope that he gets his reps. And Ty Johnson, he didn't look bad today. I mean, you say what you want about him.
Right.
Gino, there's somebody in the comments that you immediately have to say hello to.
Oh, Greg
I'll
the
pull it
leg.
up. No,
Here.
no, no.
Oh, hi,
Hello. Say hi to Elmo.
Hi, Elmo. Good to see you,
Hi,
buddy.
Elmo.
I hope you're staying out of trouble.
Show, you have to
I
say hi
love
to
you.
Elmo. I know this isn't my show, but I know what happens if you don't say hello to Elmo. It's for everyone's
Yeah.
own good.
Right.
Oh, in that case, hello, Elmo.
Man,
Hey guys,
But
you
I
know,
love
you
it.
know, you know when Brees went down.
What's up? Hey, show. Tell your kids to not be on the
Yeah,
Wi-Fi. Tell your
they're
kids to not
doing
be on the
yeah.
Wi-Fi. Maybe,
go to bed,
maybe
do your
that'll-
homework.
Right.
Go to
School's
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Why go?
Right.
School night.
Right.
But no, guys, I would like to see them activate Bam Night.
Yes.
That's what I would
Exactly.
want.
Yep.
I would want to see
Exactly.
Bam Knight. This guy was a beast in college when it comes to special teams. I think he's
Yeah.
very electric. And to me,
Hands
he's
down.
kind of like a mixture of Brees and Michael Carter. I think he's
Agreed.
a hard north and south runner, but he has the shiftiness or the agility like a Michael Carter. So no, I would to the guy's question, I wouldn't trade for Cam Akers. I do like Cam Akers, but
Exactly.
we have a young stud on our practice squad in Bam Knight,
Exactly.
man. Let's activate him.
I agree.
Let's get him some reps. Hey, let's make him a jet, man. Let's keep him. Actually, being honest, I wanted him to be on the 53-man roster versus Johnson.
Exactly.
Why are we keeping Johnson around, even though he didn't look bad today? But it's just a matter of
Right.
time before Johnson does something, you know. But no, I would definitely try to at this point activate Bam Knight. I think that's a guy who has a promising career in the NFL.
I agree. Agree. And Matthias, how you doing, buddy? Told you to use Barrios more. Yes,
Yeah.
I think Barrios was one of the bright spots of this offense.
Yes. Yes.
The trick plays that he does, the things that he
Mm-hmm.
could do when he's like Carter, in my opinion. I know Barrios is not a running back, but Carter
Shifty.
pounds the hole. He shifts
Mhm.
and he pounds the hole just like Barrios does. In my opinion, I love what the trick plays that he does as well. I want Barrios to get involved more, and
We
then
paid Barrios too.
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They won this game only they could
He's-
have with the injuries are ugly. Yeah, exactly. The kicking team. We can all agree. The kicking
Yeah.
team was
special
was-
teams.
was-
Yep.
Yeah.
exactly.
What
keep going.
what I've seen people not talk about is the game would be a lot different if Denver didn't miss the field goal and the extra point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two.
those two. Yeah, two of
Oh yeah,
them.
too. Right.
And it was the punt returner. It was the punt the punt. What is it? So you got a kicker and a punter. It was the punter's fault. He couldn't like set it enough. So they
Okay.
gotta fix that. They gotta fix that. All the
Right.
tape
That
I
wind-
saw
it
on
was
that,
windy,
it was
too.
all,
Yeah, it was windy.
was
Yeah, extremely
yeah.
windy. Yeah.
Yeah, but you play. You're in Colorado, okay? There's a lot of weather over there, whether it's cold or windy or sunny.
It's
I mean,
always
it's like
some kind of
it's-
extreme.
Exactly. It's like the Midwest. I get all 5 seasons in 1 week.
Right.
Come on. You're in the
Your one
NFL.
your
What?
post game video sounded like you were in a freaking tornado. I thought you were in Kansas.
Dude, yeah.
I was waiting for you to blow. I was waiting for you to blow away.
Right. Yo, I went to my niece's soccer game and I was like, all right, well, the wind's gonna suck, but it felt good. It was 81, but like I was just like, oh, this damn wind.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
Let's
I mean,
play-
let's be
play
honest though. Like McManus, he's a veteran. Like he doesn't really
Oh,
miss.
he's
And like
great.
you,
He's great.
if anything, you would expect Greg Delight to miss. Like you know,
Yes.
like
Mm-hmm.
McManus is that was his home
Hoping and
turf.
praying.
Right.
No,
Hoping
I know,
and
I
praying.
know.
Hoping and praying.
I don't think you can even look at the screen anytime that Greg Delight is on.
I
You see
don't.
Zerline
My
run the
friends
opposite
make fun
way.
of me. My friends make fun of me so bad. He's like, "Hey, Gino, Greg's up." I'm like, "Shut up."
Shut up, yeah. You just like run and hide somewhere.
Forget
But yeah, I mean,
about it.
you would expect like an opposite. Like you would expect the opposing team. You know, like you wouldn't expect
Right.
the home team to. But whatever.
No,
I mean,
you're
that's
right.
what it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're right.
What-
Hey, Brandon,
what-
what's up, man? Hey, that's your guy.
What's up, Brendan?
Is WSP like something I don't know about?
Is
What's
that
up?
what's up? Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I was looking way too deep into that.
Hey, Elmo, we got the dub. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did, Elmo.
We did.
We'll be celebrating
I-
Sesame Please tomorrow.
Okay,
And I-
Brandon,
and-
I'm
and
just
I am
gonna
your
stop
friend,
you right
Elmo.
there, buddy. I'm stop you right
Greg
there.
the
buddy.
Leg is the GOAT.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's good, but he's got to do a little bit more for me. Here we go. Trade for a QB. No. What? Okay. And then
He's getting
and
too
then-
much. He's getting so much hate that isn't
He
deserved.
is,
like
but-
really, like come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
It's
mentioned
dangerous.
earlier that I'm not a big Zach Wilson fan. I'm on the fence with him, but I still believe in letting him finish this season out. And next
Yeah.
season, then you make your decision whether you're keeping him or not. So just let the young guy grow, man. He's gonna make his bonehead, as I like to say, throws and his
Yeah,
crazy
right.
mistakes. But yeah, just let the guy finish the season, man. And I think
Yeah.
going into the third, I'm a fair believer in a rookie. Give him at least 3 years, and you really know what you have in 3 years. You know what I mean? So yeah, so let Zach
I
finish
agree.
the season
I
out,
agree.
man, and let him play next season. And if he doesn't improve, like being honest, next season this guy has to take a major step because this
Yeah.
team is making major steps right now, and he's not. Being honest, he's not on the same pace as the team as a whole. You know, Zach's still,
Right.
in my opinion, but he's still young, so that's what I'm saying. I'm on the fence. I'm not saying get him out of here yet. You know, I'm on the fence. I just hope that he somehow can catch up, you know, with the pace of the team because the team is advancing, man. When you look at every
is.
other position on this team, like we are advancing, and we are advancing way faster than I thought we would. So Zach,
Right.
being honest, is
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. His kids are so.
Okay,
one of
but-
them's up.
Yeah, one of them's up. One of the kids is up. One of the kids
Go to
is
bed.
up. Okay, so we're
But
gonna get to Abby's comment right here. Ty Johnson is dangerous. I mean,
dangerously bad.
and then show your boy said, who said Cam?
Yeah, not Cam, man. Not Cam. God, not
Oh my
Cam.
god. And then Barrios is better than Elijah Moore. Well, I mean, okay, but there's an argument there because Barrios.
Hey,
gotten,
I'm not down it.
He's
Yes.
got more touchdowns. He's got more yardage than him. Like even when Barrios came on the team later last year and the beginning of the year, like Barrios was just a dog.
And
That
I
was
guess
his
what,
boy last year.
Abby is like the queen of like hot takes. Like she, no matter
Yeah.
what the topic is, she has a hot
Right.
take about something.
Yeah, exactly.
I respect it. I respect
Exactly.
it. She's very she stands by her word.
I agree. That played good against the first ranked pass defense.
Yeah.
Well, for what we all knew that. Okay, the Broncos are a top 5 elite defense. It was going to be ugly. Like it was
Yeah.
going to be ugly. I kind of expected it to be ugly. Until the fourth quarter, until we showed up. So it doesn't surprise me what happened today. What just pisses me off is how many injuries we keep piling up. That's the thing that makes me mad the most. But
Yeah.
you know,
We've been
whatever,
lucky
right?
so far though, overall.
Yeah.
yeah, we have.
Normally
here
our
we go.
practice squad
Exactly.
isn't by this time of the year.
Exactly. Matthias, I agree with you. The game featured 2 of the best defenses in the NFL. Offense, not so much. I mean,
Yeah.
we can finally make the argument that the Jets are a top 5, top 10 defense. And we all
Absolutely.
know that the Broncos defense is at least top 5. So I agree with that.
That
And then-
CJ interception.
Man, I was so upset. I thought he had that, but then I looked at it again. I'm like, okay, I can see.
Yeah, from that front angle, you can see
Yeah,
that.
exactly,
It
right.
hit the ground. Right.
Yeah.
From the side angle, I was like, oh, he has it. And after
Right.
that, I was like, oh, yeah, it's coming back.
Exactly. Strangers are about to jump on our bandwagon. You know what?
Yeah.
I got my dad to be on the bandwagon, so that's
Oh, look at you.
That's a win for me. But I still hate bandwagon fans. But it's still a win for me when my dad can say I'm rooting for the Jets. I'm like, okay, see, not rooting for the Bills like my sister was being a bandwagon, and she was like, no, we're good. I'm like, all right, good. I like that. Looks like they protect Zach a little, but not the next game. You would have to throw the ball against New England Patriots to win. That's correct because New England's secondary is not that great. I mean, they don't really have much. I don't know.
I don't think
To
so.
me,
I'm gonna watch the game tomorrow night, and we'll see. They're playing the Bears, so it should be their best showing tomorrow. I mean, they're playing a really bad team, so they're probably gonna beat up on the Bears. But I mean, if they
agree.
struggle against the Bears, that might be good news for us. But yeah, I want to see like what their best offense looks like, and their best
I
defense
agree.
too.
let's
And
see what
then, of course,
Zappy looks like.
And then, of course, they'll have a short week, you know? Play the game
Yeah.
Monday, rest Tuesday, and start prepping for Jets on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Exactly, I agree. He also tried Sauce in the last play. What a dummy!
yeah.
I mean, I think we can all make the argument that Sauce is one of is keep praying every day that Houston didn't take Sauce. It was so great. He is definitely going to be number 1 in this league eventually.
He was a little handsy today, though. Like you could
Yeah,
argue that was a
penalties.
high call.
Right?
Penalties.
Yeah. The one on
Penalties.
Judy, and even the one, I think it was Sutton. You could when they showed it from the camera from the opposite side, you saw his right hand holding the backside of his jersey where his numbers. I was like, dude, Sauce, like, oof. Glad they didn't call
He'll
it,
work
though.
on it. He's only gonna get better, though, dude. He's only gonna get better.
Right. He's only a rookie.
Exactly. So let's talk about the penalties, guys.
God.
Liam, we'll start with you. 11, and it kept going up from there after 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Liam, start with you. What do you think? What are you thinking about this? Because I have so
Well,
much to say.
halftime, I mean, it was 8 for 55 yards. And I said that in my halftime video. Like at one point we had more penalty yards than we did like offensive yards in total. It's like we just can't have that, man. It's like we knew it was going to be ugly, but the Jets, they looked undisciplined out there. And Robert Saleh in his press conference was saying that you start committing penalties when the game gets to be too fast. To me, it didn't look like the game was too fast. Like I didn't think so. It was just basic. It was just basic plays. And yes, like Denver's defense, they were bringing it to us, no doubt. But if
Right.
everyone says that the Jets could be a playoff team, you're not going to win the playoffs. You're not going to beat an elite team
Right.
by penalties like that. It's not going to happen. I mean,
Nope.
it pissed me off because it was one step forward, 5 steps back. Who was it? Was it Garrett Wilson? It was Garrett Wilson or Michael Carter on one of there was like a run and it was like 2nd and 1. And then it got called back. It was like it's like 2nd and 10, and then we end up going 3-and-out from there. And it's just like we were shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean, you eliminate even half those penalties, I think it would have been a much different outcome. I think our scoring would have been a lot higher. But I mean, they committed some, obviously not as much as us by any means, but it is what it is. It's something that they're gonna have to work on, something that they're gonna be more disciplined with, something that they're gonna have to clean up. I mean, you got to hope that that's something that they could work on. It's still like an early scheme. It's only Salah's 2nd year, but a lot of these guys, they're not first-year players. Guys like
Right.
Dwayne Brown, he pissed me off. Like you're a veteran. You chose to come back and play injured. It's like if that's what you're gonna give us, you're better off just not even being out there. I mean, don't be a liability. And
Exactly.
that's not to knock on him. Like overall, he's been fine. Like I think overall he's been great.
Agreed.
I guess that every now and then you're gonna have those, especially when you're pushing on the offensive line. It happens, But some of the stupid penalties, just like I'm surprised we won. I can't think of a game where we were penalized that much, where we struggled that much to get into the end zone. A lot of times like kicking field goals, you're not gonna win the game. So
Right.
it's like all our backs are against the ropes. You're getting all these penalties. You're settling for 3 when you should be going for 6, 7. Hey, like I said, not to beat a dead horse, but an ugly win is better than an ugly loss. I'll take it. Somehow we were still better. But
Yeah. Show, what do you think?
I agree, man. Well said, my man. Yeah, penalties, man. They absolutely destroyed our drives. For the most part today. Like you said, we had like 5 or 6 at halftime, man. You know what I mean? Like that is absolutely bananas, man. Like the total was what, 50, 55, 60 yards
yeah,
at
yeah,
halftime
8 for
from the
55
penalties.
at halftime. Yep, yep.
You know what I mean? So, man, like that is a formula that we cannot use, man. Whatever we have to do to rectify this problem, we have to do it. And being honest, I'm a bit shocked that we actually had that amount of penalties because if you look at the Packers game, we didn't have a lot of penalties. You look at the
No.
Miami game, we didn't have a lot of penalties. So I was thinking that our guys are finally righting the ship far as not committing penalties as much. But to see these many penalties, man, today I was like, man, this is crazy. You start to
Yeah.
think like, are they trying to cheat us right now? Your
Right.
mind just wonders, right? Like, is this home
Yeah.
cooking taking place right now? Like they trying to make sure that Denver get this win. Nobody wants to lose to the Jets, right? But yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, he said it, man. He said it well. The penalties, man. You can't play this type of game in the playoffs, and
You can't.
and he
No.
said it well. Like the way the offense struggled with the amount of penalties that formula normally equals a loss. It's rare that you get a win from the penalties and the lack of production from your offense. So kudos to the Jets for pulling out the win. It was a miracle. Because I agree with you, Liam, man. I had us as a loss today after seeing the first half. I'm
Right.
like, yeah, we're out of here. I said, yeah, we're about to, break our winning streak. Being honest, I saw us having a loss today. So kudos to the defense, man.
I saw something on Twitter. Somebody tweeted. I don't remember who it was. Somebody said, "All right, the refs could take off their Broncos jerseys now." It
right,
just.
right, right.
It, do you
Questionable
guys
penalty.
feel like? Do you guys feel like sometimes like the refs are like too involved? Like sometimes they kind of ruin the game. Like
They do.
was it dirty on both sides? Yeah, but it's like come on, like it's football. Like some of the roughing the passer calls are just ridiculous. I mean, like the
Yes,
Jets had one to get the Jets committed one today, and it was very clear. I think it was JFM hit him like
it was.
pretty late, but.
It
Yeah.
was.
But sometimes, like overall in the NFL, it's just like sometimes I feel like they're too much of a factor.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
That's true.
I like that. I like that the commentator actually said that too. So it was, I think it was like that last deep pass and Sauce was in coverage, and I think him and Sutton were going like neck to neck, far as the touching and the grabbing. And the
Right.
commentators
Yep.
actually said it. They were like, "Hey, that's a good no call from the refs. Both of these guys were touching and
Yeah.
tugging and
Yep.
pulling. Let the guys play ball." And I agree, man, because me growing up, so I'm 42, man. So when I was younger, like guys played football. You know what I mean? You didn't have as many
Yeah.
calls. You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
real football, like that gritty, grimy type football. So to see the way the refs are calling the game now is kind of like, man, this is crap, dude. This is. I think I was watching the New York Giants game today against the Jags, and I
Yeah.
Yep.
think it was Josh Allen where he grabbed Daniel Jones' jersey, I believe. But it was one of the
Yeah.
quarterbacks. He got the jersey pull, and there was like no force or anything, and they called a penalty on that. I was like,
Mm.
"What is this, man?" So
I
yeah,
mean,
so yeah,
right. I'm all for player safety and everything, but at the end of the
yes,
day, sometimes it's like, come on, like,
right, right,
Agreed.
absolutely.
We got a couple questions from the comments. We got this one first. Who on the Jets offense needs to step up the most against New England Patriots to compensate for the loss of Brees Hall? Okay, I'm going to take this one first. I think, honestly, it's going to have to be the wide receivers, and it's going to have to be Michael Carter. We know what Michael Carter can do. I mean, he's a workhorse. He pounds the pocket. He knows what to do in the right and left. But when he's not really good at accelerating when he gets there, though. He's
yeah,
got so much strength. His arms are massive. But that's the thing with Brees Hall was when he hits that pocket, he was go. He went. So I think if we can get Bam Knight in there and also have Carter continue to do what he's doing, even pass to him a little bit. But I think now I'm realizing from the Jets now that this tight ends, they're only going to throw them like maybe two or three times. It's more going to be a blocking thing now. Over and
Right.
over, keep watching tape. I think that's what's going to happen. So Carter needs to step up, bring Bam Knight in there, and throw because the Patriots suck in the secondary. What do you think, Liam?
I agree. They definitely need to step up. It's I think one way that you can kind of counter it is we know that Braxton Berrios can run the ball. Like I think we're gonna start seeing some more end in arounds. Um, if Elijah Moore is on the team next week, maybe you feature him that way too because he's been known to do some of that too. But I really think that trick plays is going to be the way to go. Get ending around to Elijah Moore, ending around to Garrett Wilson, ending around to Barrios, like that kind of stuff. I think is gonna definitely help us out a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna knock. Like Ty Johnson was fine today. Maybe Bam
Hmm.
Knight gets elevated next week. You know,
Right.
um, as far as who else needs to, Zach needs to play better.
Right.
I think he definitely needs to step up. Just play more clean overall, the whole team. And I mean, it was a bad showing from the offense in general, but like I don't think that there's like one player on offense or defense that's like a legit concern that like this guy can cost us the game at any point. I think we're kind of past that point. I think everyone just needs to show up and play like they've been playing minus today the last couple of weeks. I think we've played well the last couple of weeks, finding ways to close out games. It's not coming down to the wire. Every week we're lining up in victory formation. That's a good thing.
Right.
So I think just play clean overall, like I said, and just maybe get some more trick plays going. You know that Mike LaFleur has something brewing up his sleeve.
Well, yeah. We're going to definitely get into that. Show, what you
Mm.
think?
My two would be an individual will absolutely be Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson can ball out, we win the game. Period. I'm not concerned about the defense at all.
Yeah.
I feel like if Zach can make those simple throws or those layups, as I like to call them, don't overshoot you guys. I know he's not the tallest quarterback, but he's not the shortest either. So stop throwing it up so high. That's one of the main concerns that I've had for Zach Wilson. It's either he's missing the 2 to 3 yard pass, or if a guy's open, he's shooting it above his head, which in my books and studies that's a bad throw. You're making your receiver susceptible for injury. He's extending his arms and his body is not protected. His ribs are open. It's just I just and today he was throwing a lot of passes behind his receivers, man. So it was. I just need Zach to perform. If Zach perform, we win this game. I guess my second wouldn't be an individual. It would be just don't do the penalties. Zach
Yeah,
performing
exactly.
well and reduce these penalties, man. And we should come out with a win at home against the New England Patriots.
Agreed.
Zach actually got Mims hurt
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
one of those
He threw
passes. Yeah.
he threw the
Right.
ball behind him. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep.
And,
I'm on the fence
and
with that, guys. I'm on the
yeah,
fence with that guy,
and
man.
I've tweeted. I was like, that was not Mims' fault. Yeah, did it go
Right.
through his hands? But he was throwing backward
Right.
instead of on the dot. Now here's a good one.
Slight rain, a lot of wind.
Exactly. Here's a good one. Do you think we would have won if Russell Wilson was playing? Honestly,
I would say
I
yes.
mean, I think the QB, their backup QB, was not that great either, and he hasn't been playing that great. I think it would have been the same. I think it would have been even.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're still one, but I mean, if you look at the backup and Wilson, they were. I mean, Wilson's been playing like crap. They've only scored 16 points a game, so I think it's the same thing. I think they're dead even. What do you think, guys? Liam, we'll start with you.
I agree. I don't think that it would have made much of a difference. I mean, Russell Wilson's been playing the worst football of his life. I even went out on record on Friday night and said that he might not even be hurt. I think Nathaniel Hackett just wants to see, what happens if we switch it up. And I don't think it would have been much different. If you don't have after this, if you don't have any more questions, I have a question for you guys. But obviously we'll go through the rotation and everything. But eventually I do. I have. Well, no, show you can answer and everything. When we're done, I have a question for you.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Yes, we would have won. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Russell Wilson is losing the faith of his teammates, especially on offense. I think these guys are a bit maybe disappointed. I guess that would be the word. I think one of the receivers came out publicly and said that, I don't even have Russell's phone number to communicate with him. I have to speak to his agent to basically set up an appointment to talk to my own quarterback. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big slap in the face for your offensive teammates. You know what I mean? For you to seem so high and mighty, but yet you're playing so crappy.
Exactly.
So no, I being honest, I think they made the right call by not playing Russell Wilson, man. I think Russell Wilson may be done. Like they may let him play the remainder of his contract, or at least the remaining portion of this year. But far as moving forward, man, I don't see Russell Wilson being that Russell Wilson that we're accustomed to seeing. So yes, simplify the answer. Yes, we would have won still.
I think they should get someone in the draft. Honestly, I mean, it's a big, heavy quarterback draft next year.
It's heavy, yes.
Heavy,
yes,
very heavy. So, what was your question, Liam?
I'm not sure if Mims is healthy, but if he is, would you start him again next week? Did you see enough to trust him to go back out there next week?
I mean, he did have he had a great block for Breece Hall's touchdown. I mean, Elijah Moore ain't going to do that. So, yeah, I think continue to go with the Mims train. More slapped himself. More messed up. We're not going to forgive him or do anything like that as a Jets fan base. Then now he needs to apologize. He needs to own up to it. The tweets, the fake accounts, everything. I understand his boys are DK Metcalf. I understand his boys AJ Brown, and they're at such an elite. They're elite. Like they're some of the best wide receivers in the game. And maybe he's trying to think like that. Well, my boys are doing good from my old Smith days, and then now I want to be that guy. I want to contribute. Like I get that, but your time is coming. You're still young. You're 23 years old. Like. Be a little bit more patient, in my opinion. But answer the question. Yes, stick with Mims. What do you think, Joe?
Yes, stick with Mims, man. I'm a huge Mims advocate.
Me too.
I like Mims a lot, man. I feel like once the guy gets his feet underneath him with this offense, and being honest, I think it's something with the coaches. They just, for some reason, they're not gelling with Denzel Mims. That's my personal opinion. We saw how good Denzel Mims looked in Gase's system, right? One of the worstest coaches we've ever had, man, for the New York Jets. And the guy was balling out for the games that he did play in his rookie season. So you mean to tell me a guy that looked like that can't thrive in this system? You can't find a way to use him, man? I'm sorry, guys. To me, that's crap. That is absolutely crap. So, yes, I would say start him, man. Start him and give him some attempts, man. Throw the ball to that guy. Let him work his magic. I mean, you see what happens when you do throw the ball to him. About 80 to 90% of the time, he's catching it, and he's gaining extra yards because of his speed, his size, and his strength. Throw the ball to Denzel Mims. Start Denzel Mims. I'm all for it. Let Elijah Moore sit another game out, man. Teach him a lesson. Even if we don't use him, at least teach him a lesson so the guy can thrive in somebody else's system. You know what I mean? Send a message to the team. Yeah, I'm okay with that too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Send a message to the team, man. You can't to me, you can't let these young guys, man, he's basically a rookie. You let the rookie come in here and dictate to you how you run your system. An established franchise like the Jets, an established coach like Robert Saleh, not head coach, but just coach in general, who everybody loves, right? You come in here with your little temper tantrums and you run to Twitter and, no, man, set an example, man. Don't let the other guys say, oh, well, if he did it, I can do it too next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Set the standards, man. Set the standards. I like Elijah Moore, so I'm not saying this because it's something personal about him. Hell,
Right.
I'm on record saying that I thought he was going to have 1,000-yard season.
We all did. We all did. And that's the thing.
Yeah, we're not gonna call you crazy for saying that. Like he was projected to break out this year.
I mean, his training camp was amazing. His OTAs were amazing, but his attitude definitely switched. I mean, from last year, OTAs, minicamp, preseason, everything. But Matthias, the Patriots defense tackles well, but their front is a formidable. Yeah, I can't read that word. It's their defensive backs that are a little suspect. One thing is for sure, they will not beat themselves. Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
The Patriots are very disciplined. Very disciplined.
Yep.
No matter if they have superstars or not, these guys are like Denver. Denver is a very disciplined team, man. So yeah, going up against New England at home is not going to be a cakewalk. They don't have the superstars, but they have a superstar system, and these guys know how to play that system, man. Right. So Zach, like I said earlier, man, Zach is our key to winning this game.
Exactly.
And no penalties. Exactly. Well, at least not a lot.
Right. I like this comment because I saw this. Grow up parent take advantage of the situation. What's that? I mean, I love that. I love that he said that, to be honest, because we needed a spark. Yeah. We had all kinds of injuries go down. That's what I want from a quarterback. Like, okay, get your shit up. Go fucking make a play. Like, I love that crap. But overall, though, as I continue to go into the comments,
I have a question for you guys.
What's up?
If the Jets continue to play like they played today, especially offense,
right?
How do you see the outcome of the Buffalo Bills game?
I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Scared.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be full strength,
so
I'm scared.
I'm going to that game too. I'm going to be there.
God.
Oof.
Oh,
I know.
God.
I know. I wish it was next week. No, I know. It's my girlfriend's a Buffalo Bills fan. She's never been to an NFL game. And
wow.
Gino, I was texting with her today, and she, my girlfriend, and she was saying that she's afraid to wear like Buffalo stuff like at MetLife because she's afraid like fans like spitting on her and stuff. I was like, Jet fans are not like that, man.
No,
it's one thing like we are classy fans. And I was telling her, I was like, listen, like I've been at home against like the Patriots. I've been at home against like Dolphins. Like I've seen some rivalries. Like I don't think the Jets Bills is like a rivalry. I mean, we want to beat them, of course, but like they suffered just like us. They had shitty wrecks just like we did. Like we go hand in hand. We know Buffalo. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Like they've been more than us, but like they haven't had much success. In the early years. Like now they're starting to come on because there's a lot of good continuity. I think the continuity is like really what's carrying them, but. It's gonna be no cakewalk for sure, but I'm excited for them. I want to see the Jets come out and play a good team. How can they perform against a good team?
Right.
Because
Liam, tell your lady, man, that we didn't spit on Adam Gase, so she's safe.
Yeah. I told her he was like trying to wear like regular clothes. I'm like, nah, like wear what you want. Like you want to wear Bill stuff, wear Bill stuff. Like, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. My mother-in-law gave me crap because she was watching the Cowboys game, and I was like, "Oh, the Cowboys are on." Well, she says, "Well, I love my son-in-law, and he's a Cowboys fan, just like I love you if you were a Jets fan." Yeah, but the Jets sound a lot better than the damn Cowboys. It was just so.
They're winning. Cowboys are winning though.
I wouldn't say a lot better, but they are good. Yeah. They are. I couldn't say which one is better than the other right now.
I just can't stand them in general.
Man, the Cowboys struggled in that first half against Detroit. Man,
the Lions are a good team. They're underrated in my opinion.
They are, but I think
Hutchinson had Dak's number.
Yeah, I saw the highlights, dude. Yes,
and St. Brown got injured.
That guy's going to be a beast
as well. That's the one real wide receiver.
Wait a minute. Not to change the subject on the teams and get off our Jets, man, but how disappointing is it for Aaron Rodgers to lose to a struggling Washington right now?
Oh God,
I saw that. They got to change something up.
I'm like, are you kidding me right now, Aaron Rodgers? Wow.
You know what I think was more. You know what I think was better than that is the Buccaneers got blown out by Carolina, 21-3.
Dude, I don't even understand that one. I thought I was.
They're 3-4.
I like to see Tom Brady struggle.
Oh yeah.
How many iPads are we gonna break this week?
that. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. So let's go to the defense. I think we can all agree that the defense, it was the battle of the defenses today. I mean,
Yep.
Broncos side and Jets side. So, in my opinion, I know Liam has a lot to say about our defense today because the one-on-one. But I agree with him, though. So I'm going to start with me, then I'll go to Liam the show. So the defense for me, once the injuries and the penalties came into play, we are not good at bouncing back when we have a lot of penalties. But this game, we did bounce back, and we did get the W. But overall, hasn't been the case these last few games. But overall, Sauce Gardner is clearly number one. Reed is clearly one of the best duos with Sauce. And also, I mean, Whitehead, that guy can't catch worth crap. And then it's like Joyner. It's like Joyner, though. I have been pleasantly surprised with Joyner. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, too. But I am actually impressed what Joyner's been doing lately. But that front four and all the defense, they were gassed today. They looked exhausted.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in a while. So I think we need to bring more people in and fix that. I love the bounce back. We bounced back and we got the W, but we definitely need help and we need more consistency. That's what I think. What do you think,
Liam, I'm gonna let you say it, but they were also playing at Denver, and we've heard the nightmares about the air being thing.
That's where I was gonna go. That's how I was gonna start that off.
Which part?
Just the air quality is very poor up there. Sauce even said, I'm not trying to take away from Show. I don't know if he's like what.
No, it's cool.
I'll go.
Come back.
So,
I'll go back. You're good. You came back.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Sauce even said in his post game show, he said the same thing. He goes, I don't know why, but it's kind of hard to breathe up here. And
yeah,
exactly. That's what it is because like our defense hasn't this year historically been gassed. Like we heard that one comment from Greg, no, not Greg, from Ulbrich saying that Quinn Williams gets gassed a lot. And, like you look over, he's like second on oxygen. We haven't seen that at all. Like our defensive line, I think overall is in very good shape. Quinn Williams is in the best shape of his life. JFM is in really good shape. Rankins was getting after it. So like Quinn Williams, he had a breakout game again. Like unfortunately, like the negative kind of outweighed the positives here. But I mean, Quinn Williams had a big game. Like his number was getting called a lot today. JFM actually had a pretty big game too. Like
exactly.
yes,
he
did.
He had his penalties and stuff. Like he had his little injury. But I'm not concerned about the defensive line. Like I really don't think that we need much more depth there. I mean, we have Solomon Thomas that fills in. Like we have a couple guys. I didn't notice Clemens out there at all today. Jermaine Johnson, he should be coming back in a couple of weeks. So we have that. The linebackers, CJ Mosley, like we all thought that was an interception. I think the linebackers played pretty well overall. CJ Mosley has been a concern for me in the last couple of weeks. I think he stepped it up today, proving that why he's like one of the leaders of the team. Quan, he went down with a little injury, but I think he came back in. He had a couple big hits like he always does. Michael Carter the second and Eccles, like some of our backup corners, like playing nickel. Yeah, dude, like they're stepping it up. Like I'm happy with the depth that we have at the cornerback position. Obviously, it's Sauce and Reed's position no matter what. Like it's not even a competition at this point. But when they do need a break, because you can't be out there every defensive play, I'm really happy with Michael Carter and Brandon Eccles. I think that they're going to be just fine as CB2s. Joyner with the interception, like you said it perfectly. You hit the nail on the head. He's been pleasantly surprising. He's starting to come into his own. Maybe that was just a situation where he needed to get back into football shape. He needed to get back in. He was out all of last year. He needed to start playing safety again because I think he played corner, or he played another position.
Nickel,
corner, right?
Nickel.
Yeah. Yep. So I think he just needed. Yeah. Yep. I think he just needed to maybe just get his footing back a little bit. It took a couple weeks for him to come on. Jordan Whitehead, he's lost out there at times. Like I expected more from Jordan Whitehead. He's like a Super Bowl. He's like one of the MVPs, Super Bowl champion. He came from a quality organization. He had Todd Bowles as his DC for the last couple of years. We all, as Jets fans, Todd Bowles isn't the best head coach, but defensive coordinator, that's his thing. That is his bread and butter. So I expected more. I expected more from Jordan Whitehead, but overall, I'm not too concerned about the defenses. I mean, the defense is only going to win you the game so much. Like, you can't complain about the defense. They're doing everything that they can. We saw, from week 1 to where we are now, it's night and day, dude. Night and day.
True.
Every game's a big game. Every game is
And
a big game.
they're getting better every game. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think, Show?
I agree with you guys, man, on everything. The defense is definitely playing lights out, and I don't see a real weakness in our defense. I know coming into the season, we were kind of questioning the free safety position, Joiner. We had a lot of questions, concerns about the linebackers position. I know the Jets fan may have been split up 50-50 on Quincy Williams. Um, not knowing for sure if he's really going to be good enough to be the second guy on the roster behind C.J. Mosley. But then we went out and signed a guy like Quan Alexander, and Quincy actually started to show most of the Jets fans that he is the guy either taking Mosley's place next year or he's the number 2 guy on this roster. And I think most Jets fans would say that Quincy Williams is definitely a keeper.
Oh, for sure.
It's funny though. It's funny though when we think about it, man. The entire Jets nation, probably except for everybody that was in the building, was saying, "Why is this Joyner guy playing?" I was even so desperate. I was saying, "Man, just toss in Davis, man. Let Davis play the position."
Right.
God, this guy's awful.
Right.
But now in hindsight, man, I think the guy leads the team in interceptions. Like, how crazy is that, right? So the defense is definitely playing lights out, man. And I don't see a weakness really in our defense now. And to say from Liam earlier, Clemens, I did see a lot of things. Clemens had a real big hit, man. On the running back, I believe. I think it was on the sweep going towards the sideline, and he just like rocked him, man. And like the guys were, like snapping them across the helmets and things of that nature. I love Clemens, by the way.
I do too.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I think the defense is legit, man. Like you say, the nickel guys are stepping up big. The Michael Carters, the Eccles, and like I say, if one that like the game where Sauce kind of like had a small injury, and I think
Right.
we put Eccles in his spot, and Eccles held his
did.
own, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That penalty. Yeah.
this
Against
defense,
Lazard too.
yeah, against Lazard, bro. So this defense is legit, man, and I don't think anybody is calling for Uber's head anymore.
No, I'm not. Not yet. Not yet. I
Right.
mean, I have
If-
before, but now he's getting back in my good graces slowly.
Right.
If,
I mean,
if
hell.
we're gonna nitpick, go ahead.
No. I was pretty much done. I was feeding off you guys. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that if we're gonna nitpick, I
Mm-hmm.
would like to see some more interceptions. I thought Sauce would have had some more interceptions by this point, even DJ Reed. So I mean, obviously, like you said, Gino, Joyner is leading the team in interceptions, which I don't care who's getting the I want to see a couple more interceptions. Like
Yeah.
at least like one a game. Like it seems like we're not really getting a lot of interceptions, but we're getting them when it counts. So
That's true. That's true. I
But
actually
I
thought
would
Sauce
like-
was
I
going to
would
get
like
the
to
one
see-
in the end zone today. I was like,
Yes,
come
me
on, you know
too.
what I mean? I was like, come on, Carl.
And then Whitehead dropped 2 of them, which he
Oh my
had.
God, dude! That guy has all thumbs.
Oh, right. So here's a question from the fans: what was the reason for the lack of pressure the Jets front four put on him this afternoon? I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I thought there was good times and there's bad times with them, but overall, I think our front four did fine. They did look gassed at times because of the air in Colorado, but overall, I think we were getting to him. It's just I think the Broncos O line, in my opinion, they showed up a little bit today. I mean, they actually shut us down a little bit. I mean, it was frustrating, especially going in the fourth quarter, especially those final minutes. So for me, I think they just showed up. I think we tried everything, and we just finally showed up. What do you guys think?
I agree. I'm not going to look too deep into it because I think that we've seen enough from them this season to realize that we can make an impact when we have to. I'm just gonna. Maybe it was the air quality, because like a lot of these guys, like they are young players. Like, I think Quinn Williams has only played up there. Like, I think this is sorry. I think this is his second time playing up there. So he's young, he's inexperienced up there. JFM, he's been up there quite a few times, so he knew what to expect. But a lot of times, like these guys, they didn't know what to expect. But overall, I'm not concerned at all because we've seen big games from these guys, who, week in and week out, and maybe we were underestimating Denver a little bit. Coming away from this, I'm going to say, you know what, they're a better team than I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Sho?
I agree, guys. I think it was the air quality, playing a major factor. And I also think that Denver actually controlled the ball more, which means that our guys were on the field more because our offense couldn't move the ball well enough. So now you're making your guys on defense play more snaps and more counts than they actually should. I remember, I think it was in the fourth quarter, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And matter of fact, I think it was the last minute of the game, their last drive, but it was the beginning of the last drive, and the camera flashed it towards our sideline, and I saw Quentin Williams on the sideline. I'm like, what are we doing here? He should be in the game right now, man. You know what I mean? This is the last drive to seal the game. I want my best players in, man. So, I think it was the air quality, one. Two, the offense wasn't moving the ball well enough, which in turns make the defense be on the field a lot longer than they should have been. So these guys are winded, man. And that would be my take on why the pressure wasn't there. I mean, because we've seen in the last couple of games, the Miami game, the Packers game, like this defensive line can get after it. But being honest, you started to slowly see them do that in the third quarter. First and second, not so much, but the third quarter you can see them getting there more often. Like the one where who was it? Bryce Huff. He was on where Carl Lawson normally is.
Yeah.
And he just
showed
flew
up.
in and he just flew in, man, and just pretty much pushed the quarterback right into Carl Lawson, man. So, in that third quarter you could start to see that pressure start to build. So I just like I said a minute ago, man, I think it was the air quality, and also the defense was on the field way longer than they should have been with a struggling offense and the Denver Broncos.
I agree.
I think that happens a lot too. I think like part of their game plan is, I think they like those long, tiring drives because Denver, they're used to the air quality, and now that's an advantage that they have over the rest of the NFL. It doesn't matter who you are. So I think that's part of their game plan. It's like, we don't mind, like we'll take 6 minutes off the clock and we'll take our time to get into that end zone because we're gonna break you down. We're gonna gas you out. I think it's a smart game plan. I mean, if you could use it to your advantage, why not?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Matthias says Eccles has come a long way. That is definitely for sure.
Indeed.
And I think he will definitely continue to get better. And then this guy said leading wide receiver on the Jets had 24 yards, and that's just not going to cut it against any of the teams coming up as well.
Well, in all fairness, guys, that Broncos defense, they don't give up much, man.
No,
they played a two safeties high, and sometimes you don't know if it's man or zone. So you're not beating them deep. That's just not happening. And then on top of that, they have one of the best corners in the league. You know what I mean? Right. So they can literally just put him on an island and just, camouflage that two deep safety package that they often come out with on the field. So it's not really a testament against New York. It's just that Broncos defense, man, is serious. It's not a joke. Yeah, top 5 easy. Top 5.
If they could get their offense clicking more, they'd be a dangerous team.
They're dangerous. Yes,
they will.
Yes.
Just like the Raiders and Chargers and all of them. It's the injuries and the lack of chemistry. That division is stacked, but the Chiefs are running away with it right now. But here we go. Ugly wins are still dubs. I agree with you. Even if it's good or bad, it's got to be there. So, guys, next subject I want to go to is special teams. I think we can both all agree that special teams have been carrying us with wins. I mean, the way that they've been. Hardy needs to be a Pro Bowler. Okay, Hardy needs to be a special teams.
I love that guy, man.
The things that he's been doing, and he's got the captain on. It's everything that we need in special teams and what we want, especially with the Clemens, the way he's been doing good. Barrios, shoot, I can't believe I'm saying Steven Ty Johnson and Parks. They have been doing very well. And Boyer, I was on the fence with Boyer, but now I'm like, okay, I get it. And Mann's doing well now. Greg the Leg's been doing well. Maybe it was just a back injury with Mann. So I think I like where they're going, and I think it's going to get better because they have been bailing us out a lot. What do you think, Liam?
Oh, I agree 100%. Absolutely. They've definitely been bailing us out. I think Greg the Leg, we give him a lot of flack, but I think overall he's been fine. He's been doing his job. Who did he beat out? I can't remember who was
Eddie Pinheiro.
Narrow.
That's who. Yes. I think Panero would have been fine too, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't think that, but like I trust Greg DeLeg in those long kicking situations. I really do. Like Gino, like you said it 100 times, he makes the long ones and misses the close ones. Right now, dude, he's not missing any of them. You know,
Right.
so Braxton Berrios on punt returns and kick returns, he runs his ass off, dude. He runs hard. So there's no complaints with special teams. I mean, I think I don't think we could ask for anything much better. So they do
True.
their job. There's a lot of hidden yards in special teams. Mike Westhoff seems to love them.
Mm-hmm.
He's been praising Brant Boyer and stuff. So keep going, man. Just keep getting the job done. If we could win by field goals, win by field goals. You do anything you can that's going to put points on the board.
Agreed. What do you think, Show?
I agree with you guys once again, man. Shout out to Joe Douglas, man. Joe Douglas grabbed a great man late in the draft pick, and the guy's turning out to be a stud for us right now. Shout out once again to Joe Douglas for finding Hardy from the Saints when the Saints didn't re-sign him. And I think I mentioned on this live, I believe it was this one, when when the news came. I think it was via Twitter when I first saw it. It was like the Jets
Yeah, me
signed
too. Me too.
signed
Yeah.
Hardy, and I was like, my mind was like, who's Hardy? And I
Yeah.
looked him up. I'm like,
Yeah.
special teams guy. I'm like, I lost it. Like, what are we doing here? We need other
Yeah.
positions
Yeah,
to be filled. Like, this is crap. And
Right.
then on that same day, man, the Twitter Saints was like, man, we should have re-signed Hardy. I'm like, wait a minute, the Saints are crazy about this guy. So I
Oh
looked
yeah.
yeah.
into it. I looked into it more, and I was like, oh my god, like we have a gunner. Like this guy is serious. I had no
Oh yeah.
idea. So once again, shout out to Joe Douglas for completely revamping this special teams unit, man. This special team is really special. And
Yeah.
There you go.
and
There
like I
you
say,
go.
man, I was big on keeping Panero, but I can't really say right now if letting him go and keeping Greg was the better decision between the two. But what I can say is Greg has only missed one field goal this year, man. So kudos to him. The special team is legit, and
Yep.
they're actually carrying us along with the defense while the offense is developing more or going through the injury phase or whatnot. So yeah, man, special teams, kudos to those guys, man. Keep it going. I like what I'm seeing from them. Zero complaints on my end.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more. So this guy, the guy on the bottom, he said, "I'm South Texas, so hearing anything Jets live is a blessing to me." Well, I'm glad we could do that for you, my man.
Absolutely,
Glad we could do that
absolutely,
for you. I
absolutely.
bet it's rough for you over there. I bet.
Yeah, it must
I
be.
bet.
Yeah, and
So,
and,
guys,
and
You,
what,
you,
what
you,
was his what was his name again? Marmar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marmar.
Hey, Marmar.
Marmar.
I don't know if you've been watching us recently, man, but I'm a Southern guy too. I'm from the South. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. So I get your pain when it comes to, Jets media or Jets talk or Jets anything, dude, because I suffered for years. I had no outlets. I had no companions to talk Jets football with. So, man, I completely get it, dude. We're on the same page. I feel you.
At least he has
100%.
Gunny down there. He has Asman, so he has a couple people.
Yeah, Jake
down there.
Asman is down there now. Yeah. Jake is down there
Yeah,
now.
we
Yeah.
Houston.
And Gun, yeah, Gunny is too. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, Marmar, look up the Houston Jets. They're an organization out there. If you're near them,
Mhm.
they're a great
Mhm.
organization, and they do stuff every Sunday. So hopefully you can watch some games.
And
There's
follow-
a Jets bar down there too.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Jake
follow,
Asman goes to a Jets
yeah,
bar.
follow Jake Asman. Yeah, follow Jake
That's the
Asman.
Houston. That's the Houston. That's that club that he's in with
Mhm.
with
Okay,
Jake
yeah,
Asman.
yeah,
Oh,
they're
which
all
is this-
the
together.
okay.
Houston.
They're all together and they're all affiliated with each other.
Yeah, so maybe that
But-
helps you out.
Yeah, I hope it does. So here we go. We're going to this tough subject now because we're going to talk about our injuries. As we know, we got 3, possibly 4 or 5 other injuries. Let's just start this off and saying let's hopefully that all these injuries are just not as bad. But we all know probably Halls is probably going to be more serious than others.
Mhm.
Starting with the show on the injuries, what do you think about these injuries this game? And are you scared?
I have to be honest with you guys, man. I'm nervous, man. Brees Hall was giving us that extra coverage that we need to kind of like disguise Zach's struggles or the offensive line struggles, et cetera, et cetera. Him being out really puts a question mark on the offense for me at this point. And being honest, man, like we took the bulk of the hit on injuries from offense today. It wasn't defense.
Right.
I think if it was defense, we could kind of camouflage it a lot more. You know what I mean? Because we're so deep. on that 53 man
Agreed.
roster when it comes to the defense part. But our injuries, man, our injuries hit us hard, and they hit us hard all at one time today on one side of the ball, and that's the offense. You're looking at AVT, we're looking at Corey Davis, and also Brees Hall. With those three guys out, that is the offense, man. When you think
Yeah.
about what AVT has been doing this year, wherever they need him, he's playing. And Corey Davis has been lights out for us this year. He's not the Cooper Cups of the league, but he is that reliable target for Zach or any other quarterback that's on the field. And Brees Hall, we all know about Brees Hall, man. This guy, the first touchdown in the game. It came from this guy on a major run. You know what I mean? So Brees Hall brings a different element to the game, far as our offensive scheme. Now, when you're thinking forward, you're thinking about the other teams that we're playing. They don't have to worry about scheming.
Scheming Brees Hall.
Scheming Brees Hall. I heard his kids in the background.
Yeah. He's putting some kids to bed.
Put some kids to bed. But I agree with him though. Everything that he said, I
Absolutely.
agree with him. I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
And
he
here we
said
go.
perfect.
Me and you were talking about this earlier, Liam. If Elijah Moore
Yep.
wasn't a diva, I guarantee dude, he would.
Yeah, he would have.
would.
This would have been a breakout game for him.
Exactly.
And the thing is, too, Zach Wilson likes him a lot. So it's like,
Yeah.
they would have gotten along. Like, they would have. I think they definitely would have connected. I think he would have seen the most reps that he would have gotten all year. It's just, it's a shame, man. Like, it really is the waste of talent because I don't see a way that you could bring him back this season. I really can't. He still seems like disgruntled. He's going to return to the team tomorrow, so that's something that we're going to have to look out for. Obviously, on our show tomorrow, we're going to cover that. All right. See you. Bye, show. Have a good night.
It's okay. Yeah, I'll
Have
talk
back.
to him afterwards. It's all good. It happens. Hey, guys, we've been dealing with
It does.
technical issues for a long time, and it happens. It
It wouldn't
when you
be.
have
It wouldn't be
families and-
anything. Yep. It wouldn't be anything. Everything NYJ related if it wasn't technical problems.
Exactly. So we're gonna talk. So we're gonna continue to talk about. I want to talk about the coaching staff. What do
Okay.
you think of the the coach staff on how they have been managing the whole game? I think, in my opinion, I think they've been good, except
Yeah.
LaFleur. I am
Little bit.
I'm getting angry at LaFleur. I know he's trying not to go throw deep a lot, and I get that because it's a great secondary that the Broncos have. But in all honesty, I want more trick plays. I want more short passes. I want more of everything. But I understand we got O-line issues. I understand Zach hasn't been very accurate. So I get all that. And he's scrambling for his life. But, man, if we could find that consistency with LaFleur with that, I mean, it's going to be a great offense. We've seen what this offense can do. So what do you think?
I think they've definitely bought into Robert Saleh and his message. I really think that because Robert Saleh even said today, and I was listening to the Jets pregame show, and they said the same thing that the 60% is real. Like they're really buying into that. I think that they could really, um, I think they could really buy into like when they're down and out and like they have nothing left to give. They're digging. They know that they have an extra 60% in there, and that's a great message to have, you know. So I think that they're definitely buying into Robert Saleh, the all gas no break. We're seeing
Right.
what all gas no break really is. We're seeing because all gas no break doesn't mean you have to play flawlessly. You could have your struggles, but at the end of the game, they're really on that gas and they're finding ways to close out games. Um, it's fine with me. You know, I have no problems with Robert Saleh at this point. You know, I like his emotion
Yeah.
on the sideline. I like that he goes to bat for his players.
Right.
Getting to your point with Mike LaFleur, yeah, you know, he had a couple questionable play calls today. I think it was like 3rd and 13, something like that, and he hands the ball off. So it's like you do feel like he quits on some of his play calling, which I want to see improve. Because once we start playing those better teams, then yeah, you know, like our play calling is gonna have to be on point. But I think he's definitely a breath of fresh air compared to someone like a Dowell Loggins that we had a few years ago. So I think that, you know, like he's not the worst play caller in the league. He's not the best. You know, I think he understands. He knows what this team is struggling in. He knows that his hands are kind of tied. You know, you can scheme up the best play calls in the world, but if you don't have the protection to what the plays play out, then you're going to struggle. So I don't think it's completely on him. I think the offense as a whole needs to get better. And then we could really see what his playbook is really all about, because I think we have a good sample size. I think that we know that he has those creativity plays up his sleeve. It's just a matter of bringing it all out at the right times. I think he does need to stop playing so conservative. Excuse me. It's been a long day, and just trust your team, man. Trust the playmakers you have around you. Getting into Ulbrich real quick. He surprised me. I started the whole fire Ulbrich hashtag, and it was starting to catch on. And he's proved that's a receipt that I'm gonna have to eat. That's a receipt I want to eat. I don't want to fire any of our coaching staff.
Right.
I want our coaching staff to succeed. I want them to be good. When I was saying fire Ulbrich, I was saying that because I think that he could have done a much better job. There's somebody out there that could be better than him. He's proving that he can make the adjustments, and he's been fine up to lately. I have no concerns about him. Brant Boyer and his special teams, I think they're doing pretty good things. So I like where we're heading with our coaching staff. I think that they're really starting to implement their system, their scheme, and we're starting to see what the 2022 Jets coaching staff is really all about.
Sho, what do you think about the coaching so far? How they've been managing everything?
Fire them all. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, man. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with the adjustments. I'm gonna start with Ulbrich. I'm a defensive minded guy. I love defense, so I'm gonna start with Ulbrich. I was actually not the fire Ulbrich guy yet, but it was leading that way when it comes to me. Um, Literally because last year he had so many injuries, man. I mean, we were literally calling guys off the street to come play safety for us. You know what I mean? We
No
were
kidding.
asking a
Yeah.
lot of Ulbrich for a new system, a new team, new players, and most of our stars were injured before week two. We had Joyner, who was out week one. Lawson was out before the season even started. You're talking about two key pieces here. And looking at him now, though, I saw flashes in the season opener against the Ravens. I think
Yeah.
I started to be a little concerned in the Bengals game. The Bengals game is when it was like the defense couldn't stop a runny nose at that point. So, but if you're looking at all the games collectively, man, these guys are doing a phenomenal job. So I'm very pleased with Ulbrich. Mike LaFleur, I'm on the fence with Mike LaFleur, being honest. Sometimes he called plays and I'm what in the crap was that, dude? Like, why would you call this right now? You know what I mean? Um, I would say I'm 60-40 with LaFleur. I do like him. I do like him a lot.
Yeah.
He showed a hell of a lot of improvement from last year, week one's game, all the way to the last few games of our season last year. When he went from Mike LaFleur to Mike LeBooth, a completely different guy. And I see flashes of him being a great offense coordinator even in this season alone. But once again, like I said, there's still certain plays, that I'm like, why would you call that, man? So I'm, like I say, 60-40, slightly on the fence with LaFleur, but I do like him. Overall, I do like him. Far as Robert Saleh, I like Robert Saleh. I actually like this guy a lot. I think he is what everybody label him as, is that player coach.
Agreed.
When you hear these guys interview, they're literally like, you would think Robert Saleh was talking if you wasn't looking. Like, they're just
True
repeating
that.
his phrase. They're repeating his phrases over and over again. So to me, that's implying that whatever he's instilling in these guys, they're buying it. You don't go out here and repeat and we're talking multiple players, not just one or two. Like, every guy saying the same thing. Yeah, we have to dig down deep and pull out our 60%. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a solid thing here. That's not yours. You didn't say that last year with the other team, right?
Right.
You know
You're
what I mean?
right.
So
You're right.
so I like a coach that can dictate and sell his scheme, sell his philosophy, sell his ideas to his guys. And not only is he selling it, the guys are actually buying it. So our coaching staff, I think we move as a unit. When you look at some of our old GMs and you look at some of our old head coaches, these guys are completely on two different pages, man.
Yeah.
I think it was Adam Gaze walked out the meeting rooms doing the draft. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
where did we get this guy from, right? But
Yeah.
when you look at us now, man, we move as a unit. You can see these guys really have chemistry from the
Right.
front office all the way to the coaching staff. And to me, that's where it starts. That's why we're seeing the results that we're seeing right now. Is because it starts from up top and then it trickles down from that point. And right now, coaching staff is on fire, and Joe Douglas is on fire as well. And now the players have bought into this program. We're good to go. So yeah, I'm all for these coaches, guys. Keep them around for another couple years, and let's see what we got.
Yep.
I agree. I agree. Salah's the man.
Yeah.
I never call for Salah's name. It's
Yeah,
always been
I haven't
over,
either.
but I'm gonna eat that receipt. But overall, with this comment with Brandon, he's asking you, do you think Elijah Moore would have had a breakout game if he wasn't a diva? And I think we talked about this too.
We
but
did.
Yeah, totally. He would have a breakout game.
Being honest, he would have contributed heavily today. Would he have had a huge game today in the passing game? Probably not. Once again, man, that Denver's defense is just lights out. They're not really giving up much in the passing game. When you see them losing, or if you see them giving up big yards in other games, it's always the run game that gets them. Always. It's really never the passing game. These guys really don't give up anything in the passing game. But would Elijah Moore have been probably the leading guy today? Absolutely. Especially after Corey Davis went down, it would have been the Elijah Moore show today. With his specialties, he's that underneath guy who can catch on a drag route and just turn it up and turn nothing into something. He could have been that guy for us today. So absolutely, he would have contributed, and I think he would have been a major contributor today.
I agree.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, guys, we're going to talk about one more thing, and then we'll conclude this episode of Italy Post Game Show. So, guys, I think the injuries, right? We're been saying a lot of it. I want to know what your guys' take is with these injuries that's happened. Do we need to go out and get someone like immediately? Because it is a trading deadline, right? Do you think we need more since these injuries are coming out, or do you think we're just going to be fine with the depth-wise? Liam, we'll start with you.
Well, personally, I think all offseason long, all training camp long, we really liked the depth that we had. So
Right.
I'm comfortable rolling with the depth that we had. I mean, we have one more game before the trade deadline. It's November 1st at 4 o'clock. So let's see, going against a tough New England team, let's see with how that goes, with the players that we have. Like, obviously, like, I don't want that to be the test game, but it's going to have to be, but like, I like the depth on this team, so I'm not too concerned about it. I think that Michael Carter will be fine. I'm not going to say go out and trade for Cam Akers, but maybe worst case scenario, if we have to fill a couple of holes, we do. But there's no position really that's like screaming like, oh my God, I need to be upgraded.
Right.
So I like where we are.
Your show. Someone said you knew what they were talking about. Something like that.
What's the
I don't know.
question?
Here he said, "Show knows who I would say a running back wise."
Is it Bam?
I think
Are
he
you calling
said-
for Bam, Brendan? I'm not
we're
sure.
talking about running
But we
backs,
talked.
so
We
yeah.
we did. We mentioned Bam.
So I think Bam for sure.
Yeah, we mentioned Bam. Yeah, just we already have him pretty much on our team, man. Just bring him up from the practice squad, man, and let the guy, get a few reps in and and see what we look like. But as far as offensive line, is Fant coming back next week?
That's the thing. That's the question mark. He keeps getting delayed. So it's
Right.
like I don't think so. I would be surprised if Fant came back next week. His knees have been jacked.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But if he does come back, I will say don't rush AVT to come back. You've already asked AVT to do a lot
Exactly.
in 7 games, man. Don't rush this young kid back. This guy is a superstar, and we are seeing him develop right in front of our eyes. You know what I mean? Let this guy take a game off. Let him come back on. If the injury, is nothing major. If it's something major, then whatever the doctors appoint him, to how many days they appoint him or weeks they appoint him to stay off, then allow that. But if it's something that, let's say, he's 80%, come Wednesday, like, do you rush him back and possibly re-injure or make it worse? I would say not, especially if Fant is coming back. Implement Fant onto the offensive line. Let AVT get that rest for Sunday's game. Let him come back 100% healthy, man. As far as Corey Davis, I think I saw on Twitter they were saying that Corey Davis was actually asking to come back in the game, so I don't think his injury is serious. Yeah, I don't think his is serious at all.
And AVT, I heard his wasn't that serious either. But
Right.
But they're tomorrow. We'll know more tomorrow.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, just prayers to Breece Hall and his family. Hopefully, it's nothing that keeps him out too long. You do want to see this guy win Rookie of the Year, man. I think he was definitely on pace, on fire to win Rookie of the Year in the NFL, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
So you definitely want to see him come back as soon as he can, but as healthy as he can possibly be. You don't rush him back as well. We have a future star running back in Breece Hall, and with the 1A and the 1B or the 1-2 punch with him and Michael Carter, man, we actually have a great offensive scheme. We have a great talent. Not to go back on Zach, but Zach is just a question mark for me. But as far as injuries, yeah, if AVT is not 100%, man, come Wednesday or Thursday, just let him rest. Hopefully Fant can come back in. Corey Davis, from what I've read, was able to even come back into the game today, but they didn't rush him, which is great. Let the guy completely heal. And let's just move forward, man. I don't think injuries, we are very deep on defense, so I'm not concerned about defense at all. As far as offense, we still have pieces that we can plug in. Let's say Corey Davis can't play. I'm not big on letting Elijah Moore play, but if that's something that the coaching staff wants to do or they're okay with doing, I support it. I trust their decisions. So, yeah, I'm not really concerned about the injuries that happened today, far as will it affect us moving forward, far as the wins. I'm just concerned, like, guys like Breece Hall, is so young, and, you have to take in consideration the mental aspect of that. He's not a guy that's used to being injured. He's a guy that's used to playing ball all the time, and you don't want him to have a setback either. You know what I mean? This guy was catching on to this game that we love so much in the NFL, and he was catching on fast. So, yeah, I'm not really concerned about the injuries, man, in a negative way, I guess. Just next guy up, and let's continue to win.
I couldn't agree more. With everything you've been saying. Especially, you guys made some very great points about this game overall. And honestly, it's a great feeling. We're 5-2. We haven't felt this feeling since 2015 and even before that. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we got a crappy win, it's still a win. The Jets have been like crap with all this for a long time. So the fact that it happened to us to get a good and crappy win is gold.
Yeah.
Is gold.
Right.
Like, it's usually the other way around. People are coming back and on us, and then they win off a crappy win. Mm-hmm. The fact that's happening to us is pretty damn great. Right. But, guys, that's going to conclude the Italy Jet post-game show. Guys, Liam and the Jets show. Liam, where can they find you?
Just follow me on Twitter at everythingnyj. That's the best way to find me, And then my personal Instagram is official Liam Johnson if you want to follow me there. Not really much Jet stuff there. It's just more of my personal life. It's really the social media that I use. But me and Gino, we'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the Everything NYJ podcast. So definitely go check us out right here tomorrow night. That's going to wrap it up for me.
Good stuff, man. The Jets show, where can they follow you?
You guys can find me on basically every popular social media platform. I'm more heavy on Twitter than I am either of the other sites, but you can find me on TikTok as well, Instagram as well. I don't have one on Facebook, but I'm thinking about doing one really soon here. But yeah, so I'm mostly active on Twitter, and of course my number one spot for any content that I'm pushing out is definitely here on YouTube. So if you guys can give me a follow on YouTube, that would be greatly appreciated. You come over to my side, man. We have a lot of fun over there. I try to be as colorful as I can on my videos. So hopefully you guys chime in, man, and enjoy it.
Good stuff, man. Guys, thanks for all the comments. The views have been great tonight. The comments have been great tonight. We appreciate everyone's feedback. It's only going to keep going up, guys. It's only going to keep going up. It's a good time to be a Jets fan. Guys, that's going to conclude this episode. We will see you tomorrow night on Victory Monday, Everything NYJ. You can catch the Jets show this week as well. You all have a safe weekend, a safe night, and let's go Jets.
Have a good night, fellas.